10 years ago, the idea that the sun would bankrupt the oil barrel sounded like science fiction. Today, it's happening in real time. Solar power has crossed an invisible threshold, one energy economist called the tipping point. For the first time in human history, sunlight isn't just cleaner than coal or gas, it's cheaper. And the next generation technologies now emerging are so efficient, so fast to manufacture, and so transformative that the economic foundation of fossil fuels is beginning to crumble. But here's the paradox. The world still runs on oil and gas. Tankers sail, refineries churn, and political power still flows through pipelines. So if solar has already won the economics, why hasn't the world flipped the switch? Because behind every revolutionary technology lies a lag, the tension between what's technologically inevitable and what's politically entrenched. And that's where our story begins. For over a century, fossil fuels ruled every corner of modern life. Oil, coal, and gas didn't just power engines. They powered empires, underwritten by trillions in infrastructure and subsidies. Power grids, global transport, and national budgets were all designed around them. Meanwhile, early solar struggled under the weight of physics and cost. A single silicon layer could only convert about a third of sunlight into electricity. Manufacturing demanded pristine crystals, high heat, and lots of money. When the sun set, so did the power. Fossil fuels thrived because they appeared economically unkillable and politically untouchable. But in labs across the world, scientists chipped quietly at the edges of those limits. The payoff took decades, and now it arrived. Humanity is witnessing a silent but global confrontation, the moment economic gravity tilts from extraction to illumination. And that pivot begins with the breakthroughs hidden behind the term everyone is whispering, tandem solar. Traditional solar panels learn to sip light. Perovskite silicon tandem cells learn to stack it. By layering two materials tuned for different parts of the spectrum, scientists captured nearly 35% of sunlight, surpassing physics ceilings we once thought immovable. Then came printable panels. Roll-to-roll solar films churned out like newspapers. Costs that were measured in dollars per watt plunged toward pennies. Suddenly, rooftops, vehicles, and entire skyscrapers become generators. Energy stops being centralized. It becomes wearable, flexible, almost alive. And for heavy industry, solar thermochemical hydrogen breaks the last barrier. Steel, fertilizer, shipping fuel, all reborn through solar heat and water-splitting chemistry that replaces coke and gas with pure hydrogen. Each invention alone might have nudged the energy system. Together, they detonated. The dawn when the cheapest, fastest-growing energy source eclipses everything that came before. But revolutions don't stop at science. The next shockwave hits where it always hurts first, the economy. By 2025, sunlight officially dethroned carbon. Solar electricity sells for as little as 4 cents per kilowatt hour, half the cost of coal, one-third the cost of oil, and with storage, still cheaper than gas. When fuel costs zero, every fossil-based competitor bleeds money just staying alive. Capital markets can read a spreadsheet. The exodus is underway. Investment floods solar manufacturing, not oil fields. Fossil plants become stranded assets, monuments to an outdated economy. On the geopolitical stage, the map redraws itself. Nations rich in sun, India, Morocco, Chile, suddenly possess more usable energy than historical oil powers. Energy security is no longer about who controls the well, but who controls the wafer. This isn't just disruption, it's liberation. For the first time in centuries, power shifts from the ground beneath us to the sky above. And when that happens, the question changes from can solar replace fossil fuels to how fast will we adapt to the fact that it already has? The fossil era isn't collapsing because of ideology. It's collapsing because of math. The cheapest energy now comes from light, not from fuel. Every sunrise increases production, reduces cost, and expands independence. For households, industries, and nations alike, the calculation is simple. Why pay for what stars give for free? This is the first global energy shift driven entirely by economics, not depletion. The oil age ends not in scarcity but in abundance, a civilization powered by photons instead of fossils. Factories hum on solar hydrogen. Buildings become power plants. Rural communities leapfrog straight into electrification. The highlight: more jobs, cleaner air, greater autonomy. We are not running out of energy. We're finally catching up to it. And in our next Energy Horizon episode, we'll explore the invisible infrastructure powering this revolution. AI-driven smart grids, the nervous system that will manage an entire planet running on sunlight. Because the future isn't waiting for permission. It's already rising.